Ant-Man stars Paul Rudd, Michael Douglas, and Evangeline Lilly. And yes, we've reached that point in time where Marvel has become so successful and good at their craft that we now have an Ant-Man movie. I mean, remember the time when Iron Man was a far-fetch, and Thor and Captain America? Nope. Now we have Ant-Man. And yes, Marvel has done it again. This isn't a great movie or a perfect movie, but it's a really fun time, it's funny, it's action-packed, it's a great time at the theater, and it's about a man who shrinks. Now, one of the main things about Ant-Man going into it is you're expecting a bunch of action scenes like they show in the trailer and that, and it is an action movie, but really the main focus of this movie is the characters and the relationships between them, father-daughter, mentor, and it's just a bunch of that kind of stuff. And that can, depending on it, didn't really bother me. The main thing I had a problem with that is the pacing in which they handled those scenes. I think was a little off-putting to the rest of the movie because they would kind of slow it down and kind of lull you before getting you back with an action scene. And so I thought, while I enjoyed seeing the relationships and it was nice and refreshing to not have just big explosions happening everywhere like Age of Ultron, it did kind of bog you down a little bit and it kind of wanted to see more action than you actually got. The performances in this movie are obviously fantastic. Paul Rudd, he does a great job as Scott Lang, just coming out of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's just a seamless transition for him. He's great as an action hero, and I really enjoyed his performance. Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly as the father-daughter. They have good chemistry. Again, some of their scenes kind of bogged down the movie for me, but overall I thought they brought what they could to the movie and really helped it push along. But the star of the movie is Michael Pena. This man was hilarious. And I mean, he's not even a really comedic actor first. He's in some Oscar-nominated stuff, like End of Watch and Fury. Every line out of his mouth is hilarious. It was just perfect writing, and he delivers his lines so well, and it just really blends itself. So Michael Pena, he stole every scene he was in. He was great. The villain in this movie is very generic and bland. He's kind of like, I'll compare him to the Guardians of the Galaxy and their villain, Ronan. Just nothing memorable about him, and while everyone else in this movie has comedic moments, he has none. He's just a bad guy doing bad things, and he wants to be evil. So overall, I mean, his character didn't really have any arcs. He was just bad. And I think the strongest element to this film is the camera work and technology used for when Ant-Man is shrinking down to an ant. It's just so beautiful and well done that it always makes you just in awe of how they're doing it. And the fight scenes, while they're going small and big back and forth again, it's really cool to watch. And that's probably the most entertaining element to this movie. Now, as for my closing thoughts on this movie, again, I thought Ant-Man, while the villain was a bit generic and some of the storytelling and pacing were a little off, and that could be due to the fact that Peyton Reeves had to step in at the last second for Edgar Wright and take over this project. And I can clearly see why Edgar Wright left this movie, because they just threw in, there was some random scene in there just to set up that he's in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I can just see Edgar Wright saying, no way, that just throws off my story, which it does. It's a cool scene, but it kind of does take away from the rest of the movie. At the end of the day, this is just a fun time at the theater. It's got tons of comedy, it's witty, it's fun to watch, it's just overall a great movie-going experience with the action elements and the comedy. So overall, I'm going to have to give Ant-Man a 7.5 out of 10. It's not one of Marvel's best movies, but it's definitely one of their funnest. And so thank you guys for watching this review. As always, if you like what you're seeing here and you want to see more, click that like button below and you'll get more. Don't forget to comment, what did you guys think of Ant-Man? Where would you rank it in the MCU? And it'll live up to your expectations. Thank you guys for watching. J&J Reviews, signing out.